That is where the creme de la creme thing steps in. Is 1 second. This little beauty, look at that. Now this is a Soviet Union Army undershirt dating from 1945, when it was my father's day. I could not find an older one. And see the difference. Now one may argue this was supposed to be made like in the 19th century. Well, if that one is from 1945, surely it would not have been like so in the 19th century. This is clearly older looking and actually not necessarily better made, but one is this universal thing back then of, especially in less extra modern places, of even for the undershirts that are considerably longer. So it buttons all the way through. You may think like the winter edition, but that is the summer edition. The cloth is not exactly the same, but almost, and it's clearly darker. Although it probably also yellowed more, since although it is an old stock with the stamp intact. But actually he said 45, but you may barely peruse it by now. I think the 45 is there. This dates from the World War II. But some would made differently about the winterly edition, buttoned all the way through. They did not have an actual standing collar like that one does. One may argue this may be better to protect, but I did not try it on. I should try it on here. But I prepared these videos. So, one may also see that the placket opens up probably even more than on the winter edition, but apparently this is very large. They only had this that fitted around the neck, because this is actually purchased with the intention to wear as an undershirt. Obviously, since it is much darker, this shall be for the non-moving ensemble, since I desired a very full beige, which proves one has more, and it is more practical, because also I wanted to talk about the Swedish undershirt, which proves it is from before the 1950s, is that although it was quite dark, it went much lighter. And it went much lighter because it is dyed chemically, but still naturally. There is natural dye with chemical dye. There is not a synthetic dye, it does not exist yet. So it bleeds a lot. And sometimes this bleeding goes onto the clothes on top, like it does with the Swedish Army 1940s to 69s. And you may think, what bleeds? This is cream. Yes, well, this actually bleeds. This bleeds in the wash, and even as I wear it, it bleeds it does bigger actually. This is very hard, but it does. The Swedish Army Undershirts which I wear as a nightshirt. In fact, my only nightshirt now since long that. See, it has gone considerably lighter, and I only wash it once a month. So what I do, because I wear it sometimes around the head and go to the toilet, and then not wash, and I wear it without anything below, is I will wash this by hand, the parts of the top, the graving area, on a daily basis, almost, like that. And once a month I make a very soft wool wash. But eventually, especially sometimes you wear the actual shirt, it's either sick and can't wear the start shirt or have to rush outside, just tuck it in and use this breeze. It gets after 3 months completely dead, I scrub it off. And this is how I did it without boiling water. Still, it doesn't quite get off quite easily. But still, see how much darker it was. It was incredibly darker. So I did this to scrub it off probably a week ago max, because with the change of season I did lately to clean all the things and the deep clean it, right? Deep clean the boots, deep clean everything, trying to damage them as less as possible, especially the jewelry, deep clean all the jewelry. So right, so oh God. Yes, and the last drawer. That's an absolutely incredible thing. I could not post about it on Instagram because the photographs of the eBay seller, they do not, and they are too large for the Instagram application, thing to work. So this is extremely rare. Extremely rare. I could not fathom even hoping of finding such a thing. I did not even look for it. There it was, once I was looking for undershirts or whatever. I don't even know this thing existed in the first place, but it was not very surprising. This is not like this, it is not an original, but it's probably older. It's probably from the 20s or 30s. And it was only $50, and thank heavens I purchased it before the war started, so it got delivered directly to Dubai. And wash my hands before I shave it. And for somebody not into this type of clothing, specifically I will relax all these little faster braces and all, pulling devices and gadgets. It is an absolute smasher. King's Ballet holds your trousers up and your shirt down. This is extremely rare with the original packaging. Directions. Hold supporter above trouser band with wire loops pointing down. Now this cannot work for any of my trousers except some now that's fit again. They're not as hard to wear them, they are for the evening, they are from the 1940s. It can only work for trousers which are less old than the 19th century that have the buttons on the inside, as displayed by the drawing. So they still make things like today, the sticky belt. So this is a sticky belt, except it is not sticky at all. I will very carefully, so it says, band with wire loops pointing down and over inside suspender buttons. And over inside suspended buttons.